Call to action. Ultimately, Islamic economics can only be successful if it remains rooted in both local communities and broader sense of global solidarity within the ummah. By restoring the ethical, communal, and spiritual dimensions of economic life, Islamic economics can offer a viable alternative to the secular, individualistic model of capitalism that dominates much of the world today. But remember that capitalism was a global and expansionist force. You cannot resist capitalism by embracing a capitalist globalization while merely doing spirituality at home. You have to think ummatically. So with that, I will end with reiterating these three points that I have made. First, I want to go back to the point that Dr. Walid Ansari made and Sheikh Yasir made, which is your aim should be to be among the muqarrabun, those who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the greatest resistance to the nefarious logic of capitalism, whether it's praying or upholding Islamic social norms or being good to parents or being modest and having haya. These are acts of resistance. Number two, recognize the success of our families, success of our Islamic great tradition in the past, and success of the Islamic economic discourse of the last century. History, nevertheless, whether it's ancient history or contemporary, should be taken as an inspiration, but not a glass ceiling. We can and do better. We can and must do better. Finally, recognize your power as being what I call gems. Be umatic and understand that your center of gravity, as you think about the world, should be the ummah. And think of the ummah, use your power to link with the ummah and link the ummah horizontally. So one great example of that is what we heard with Dr. Mukhlisin in an earlier panel about the wonderful experiments, social experiments, economic experiments that are going on in Indonesia. Muslim countries, 56 Muslim countries, have a lot more to learn from Indonesia and to teach each other than we have to learn from the West, trust me. And we have no mechanisms to do that kind of horizontal learning. So regional Muslim trade between Muslim countries, if you look at the trade between or among OIC countries, and I'm going to end here, is what percentage? Can anybody tell me? Between 57 Muslim countries, what percentage of their total trade is within? 20%. The number I have is 3%. And that tells you that Muslim trading is completely dependent on this vertical relationship with their former and current colonizers and imperialists. And there is a tremendous revolution to be had if we are able to simply trade more. So with that, I thank you for your patience, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to be better support to the less fortunate in the ummah, and to be among those who can stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say that we did our best, even in the middle of the genocide, even in the middle of so much injustice, whether it's in India or in Gaza or in Kashmir, we did our best. Assalamu alaikum.